What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Just the Facts. I'm your host, Nate Lewis. Big Hoss is going to try to join us here in a little bit, but man, it's good to be back live again for another show. Last time I was able to do a show was last Friday, the day before my birthday. Yes, I was trying to get a show done on my birthday at the restaurant, but it wasn't going to happen. There was too much going on. I'll just say that. I want to thank everybody that did wish me happy birthday between last week and this week and say thank you very much for the birthday wishes. It was an amazing birthday. I got to see my family, my mom and dad, my sister. I missed my little brother. He stayed in Salt Lake. He's working a lot, apparently, and that's fine. Got a good show for you tonight. If you guys haven't joined me yet, I'm waiting for some more streamers, some more viewers to come in. We are live now. Let's get my phone out. Let's start hitting some people up on Facebook. Say, yo, come join us because it's happening. It is happening. I got a good show. Last week's show turned out to be a really good show, despite the fact I didn't have a whole lot of material to talk about, except for the indictment of Trump. And so it was kind of like a whim, a spur of the moment thing. And it turned out fantastically good. So I just want you guys to understand that it turned out better than I thought it would, to be honest with you. So I'm just going to hit people up on Facebook and say, yo, come join the show. It's free to join. You don't have to pay admission or anything like that. You can subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. I want more subscribers. I want to get as many subscribers as possible to come join the show. And let's talk about the things we're going to talk about. Tonight's show is going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about yesterday was the anniversary of D-Day. If you guys don't know what D-Day is, come talk to me. I'll explain it all to you. D-Day stands for, well, the Day of Days, essentially. It was the day that we invaded Normandy, the Normandy Day invasions. So it's yesterday was the 80th anniversary, 80 years. Those soldiers that fought on that battlefield are now in the younger ones are now in their upper 90s, some of them in their early hundreds. Like there was a guy there that was 104 years old at the ceremony yesterday, there in Normandy, France. It's incredible. So the sacrifice those men went through. Well, I've got some stats on that. I'm just trying to get some people hit up on here, tell them to come join the show. We can talk about anything. If you're a truck driver, or if you want to get into truck driving, if you have questions about things, please hit me up. Let's talk. We'll discuss just about anything you want to. But tonight I do have a couple items I want to talk about. We're going to talk about what's new in the news tonight. If you're joining the show, come in and say hi. Tell me where you're calling from. Make sure you subscribe to the channel below. Like I said, I'm just trying to build a followership. I'm not going to give up until I have the results I want on this show, and I get what I want from the show. I want you guys to be able to be better educated as I want to be better educated about things that happen in our world, government, sports, whatever. So right now I'm trying to get a news station pulled up so I can see what's new in the news. I haven't had a chance to really do much. Work has been busy. Oh, yeah, by the way, what's new in the news? Let's just say an Apollo astronaut. Apollo astronaut William Anders died. He was the first one. He took the iconic photo shot of the moon or of Earth from space. The first one to ever photograph Earth from space. He died in a plane crash today. Just super sad. 1933 to 2024. He was old. Had some age on him. A federal judge is calling attention to a questionable Facebook post about the New York versus Trump trial. Reveals a Facebook post implying a juror discussed guilty verdict before the trial concluded. So there might be some collusion in there, which is sorry, that music is playing there. There might be some collusion in there, which is going to really affect the outcome of that trial. Let's see. What else we got? Um, Not a whole lot really going on in the news. Just that, let's see, in the U.S., the United States, it's literally talking about William Anders, the Apollo 8 astronaut, and that's very sad. My heart and prayers go out to his family. Um, a father killed, believed dumped into the river, and evidence trail leads to his teenager son. That's terrible, just terrible. Ah, terrible, terrible, terrible. Democrat run Connecticut town refuses to fly thin blue line flag in honor of fallen trooper. Um, to me, that's getting a little too much. Like this whole like defund the police thing is getting way too much. Popular vacation destination closed after back to back shark attacks. I want to know where this is at. Know where I can stay away from swimming this year. Um, Walton County, Florida. So guess, guys, you should stay away from Walton County, Florida. That's for sure. What's going on? So that's what's new in the news, guys. I have no followers right now. This is kind of frustrating because should have followers, should have people online with me discussing some issues, discussing some things. I'll get my chair up a little bit. Feel like I'm sitting on the floor almost. Still no viewers. Does nobody know I'm online? I mean, like, I posted it. Oh man, my Royals came back. They were down in the ninth, going into the ninth inning. Came back and won that game. That's what's up. The Guardians lost today, which is good news. I'm trying to invite a lot of people. Like nobody joining. Chad McMahon, buddy of mine. Guys, we could talk by Army time. You guys have questions you can ask. You can call and ask. Whatever you want, man. But I do have some topics I want to discuss. I want to touch on tonight, anyways. Corbett Ritter here. Yeah, I said your name. You better come watch. I notice a lot of people watch these shows after the fact. Let's see. All right. Still no viewers. Kind of sad for a Friday night. I know it's summer and I know people are outside wanting to do more stuff outside, but this is, I feel like, the best time to do my podcast. And this is another poll question I want to ask. Guys, come on here and tell me, is there a better day to do this show? Seriously, come on and tell me if you think there's a better day to come on and do the podcast. throughout the week that would be more beneficial to you guys, the followers, let me know. Uh, Still have no viewers. This is frustrating. Dang, the Saints haven't drafted a quarterback since 1971. That's crazy. Cowboys since 1989. How'd they get Dak Prescott? I swear they drafted him. That's now I want to know. Yeah, that's fake. I got a viewer. What's up, viewer? Who are you? Where are you watching from? Let me know. Say what's up. My one and only viewer right now. It's kind of hard to talk about things when there's nobody here to talk about things with. Yeah, just click on the little view tab over there and say hi. I'm here to talk about anything you guys want to talk about. I do have a few topics I wouldn't mind talking about, but today the show is kind of yours. You know, like I haven't really had a whole lot of time to plan for today's show. This week's been a run and gun week. I mean, it's been rough. So yeah, come on here and chat with me. Say something. Let's talk. I'm here till 11 my time, which is another hour and 45 minutes. Just saying. Just saying. Who do I have as my one viewer? So they have one viewer. It says Nathan Lewis. It's not Nathan Lewis. I'm not watching myself. Could watch myself on my phone. Just go over here to YouTube. I also want to talk about what happened in the Chiefs practice yesterday. One player actually got hurt yesterday at Chiefs practice, and he is out with cardiac arrest. One player actually got hurt yesterday at Chiefs practice, and his name was BJ. I'm look him up now. I'm gonna look him up here real fast. What his BJ is one of the rookies from last year. The Chiefs drafted him. He got hurt on the field or in practice, OTAs, and hope he's okay. Like I was like, yeah, I guess he got rushed to the hospital. There was a whole bunch of things going on. I'm gonna find out it was Brian Cook. Brian Cook didn't get injured. As I said, Brian Cook got injured in the season. It was BJ something. I know he got hurt yesterday in OTAs in practice, so kind of a serious thing. My heart and prayers go out to him and his family. Like he went into cardiac arrest on the field. I got 3 viewers. What's up to my viewers? Hey, if you're watching, say hi. Hit me up on the YouTube chat, the chat box there. Where are you? Who are you? What do you want to talk about? I've got a few items to talk about tonight, but I'm kind of leaving the floor open to you folks because I want to hear from you guys because I want to make sure that I've got this thing going right. What's up, Gary? What's up, my man? It's been a long time since I've seen you. Are you still living in Iraq or did you move to the States? Yeah, hit me up in the chat box, people. Let me know who you are, where you're calling from, or where you're on the line from, or watching the show from. Like I said, I'm going to be on here for a couple hours. We're talking about a little bit of history today. Yesterday was the 80th anniversary of the Normandy invasion. You're in the States. South Carolina, nice. Nice. It's beautiful out there. I'm on the opposite side of the country from you pretty much. I'm out here in Idaho. It's way on the other side of the country from you. I've been to South Carolina a lot. I used to drive truck for a little while, so I stopped doing that. Finished my college degree. I should have my actual certificate, my degree, hanging up on my wall in like a month. But anyways, yeah, guys, yesterday was the 80th anniversary of the D-Day Normandy invasion. There are some stats I'd like to put out with that. 156,000 Allied troops landed on French beaches on June 6, 1944. Think about that. It was the largest invasion in the history of the world. 156,000. I think the invasion of Iraq was close to those numbers, but this is by an Allied force, a coalition of forces in Germany when we invaded France, Normandy. Um, it was a coalition of forces: the British, the Canadians, a few other countries that helped us invade the beaches of Normandy. Um, and I'm pretty sure that when we invaded Iraq, it was pretty much the U.S. that started the invasion. I know that the British and some other forces came in later and helped us out. Um, Kerry here is a good friend of mine. We met in Iraq. He was one of our interpreters. Good guy. Um, Helped us out quite a bit. Glad to see he's safely in the States. I know Iraq is still a mess. Kerry, I pray for your family that's still over there. If you still have family over there, I pray for your family over there. I hope they're doing well. And you are from the Kurdistan region, right? If I'm not mistaken. And then, guys, getting back to our topic of D-Day yesterday, the anniversary. People always want to know numbers, right? Of the 4,414 Allied troops, of that 156, whatever, thousand, 4,414 Allied troops were killed on D-Day. 2,501 of them were American soldiers. So those are numbers you can put on there. Good. I'm glad most of your family got out and they're safe. And congratulations on your PhD, man. That's big news, right? I just got my bachelor's. I'm thinking about going back and getting my bachelor's. I'm thinking about going back and getting my master's. Um, my bachelor's is in communications with emphasis on journalism, which is why I do the show, because I want to be a broadcaster. I want to be a sports broadcaster. I want to be a broadcaster. I'll take what job I can get right now. If I could find an anchor at a news desk or something, that'd be fine. But I'll take what I can get. Let's see. Yeah, if I go back for my master's, it's still a journalism degree with communications. But then if I decide to go for my doctorate degree, it's psychology. I have to go back for psychology and communications. That would be a goal. I mean, I right now I'm just focused on getting into a good career and good getting into a good career and starting that off. But anyways, welcome to the States, brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope your family is doing well. If you do any kind of traveling, let me know. If you come out this way, just let me know. You've got a place to hang out, and we'll throw down some beers or something, right? I'm always down with that. Yeah. So, guys, the anniversary of D-Day. There was at the D-Day memorial ceremony yesterday in Normandy, France. I think they said there was 40 or 50 American veterans that were there during the Normandy invasion. That's American vets. It's weird because, like, the United States doesn't really take a good count, number of how many World War II veterans we still have left, which I think is strange. Of course, that war was such a chaotic war. It pushed everybody into an awkward spot. There were kids that were joining at age 17, lying about their age to get in because they wanted to go fight. 16, 17-year-old kids that were lying to get in. Their record keeping wasn't as good as it is today. I mean, I could probably get a list of every casualty the U.S. Military had in Iraq and Afghanistan. We could get a list of all the names. I know one of them. We talked about him a few weeks ago. Private First Class Anthony Sosto was killed in northern Baghdad. It's just they didn't keep as good of. And you got to remember, 2,501 American service members gave their life on the beach of Normandy. Well, I think that number is between the Beachlanders and the airborne troopers that dropped in a couple hours before they did. So it's a little bit different. So, but still, either way, it was hard to keep numbers down. I know for the paratroopers that jumped in hours before, they got scattered all over the countryside. Some of them ended up getting POW and get put in POW camps. Some of them were killed upon, getting onto the ground. Look, I've got 4 viewers. This is awesome. Guys, tell me where you're from. Who are you? Hit me up in the comment section. Like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you guys come in and comment on what we're talking about. Right now, I'm kind of talking about the D-Day Normandy invasion. Yesterday was the 80th anniversary of it. Because I got 4 viewers now. This is awesome. I like it when I see those numbers go up. I want to build my viewership. I want people to come in and tune in on Friday nights and come take a look at the show. Okay, here are some numbers from D-Day represented total killed, wounded, missing, or captured in the United States. Okay, so the United Kingdom, 8,230. So that's just United Kingdom casualties. That could be wounded, missing in action, whatever. Canada, 2,700. Germany, 1,074. An estimated between 4,000 and 9,000. Yeah, those are huge numbers. And that's just the D-Day invasion. Those are just the D-Day invasion numbers from June 6th, 1944, when the troops landed on the beach or when the paratroopers fell behind enemy lines. How many Germans were killed or captured, how many Americans were killed or captured, how many British soldiers were killed or captured, or Canadian soldiers were killed or captured. The numbers, Carrie just put the numbers out there. Yeah, those numbers are pretty high, and that's just one day of the war. If you add up the entire casualty, I'm talking about the number of Jewish people, the number of people that were killed by the Nazi regime, the people that were killed fighting the war against the Nazis, the people that were killed fighting the war against the Japanese and the Pacific Fleet. And I'm not even talking about Americans. I'm talking about all of them, Americans, British, Russians, anybody that was on any side. The numbers are in the tens of millions. 6 million Jews lost their lives during the Holocaust, but tens of millions of people were killed during the entire conflict of war that stretched from 1939, when the Germans invaded Poland, all the way up until the Japanese surrender in August of 2000 or of 1945. So tens of millions in a 6-year span, tens of millions of people were killed. One of the most tragic parts of history for humanity was World War II. But my hat's off, and my ever thankful heart for the men and women that sacrificed their lives during that battle 80 years ago yesterday, so that I can sit here and bring you this podcast, and we can talk about their sacrifice, and we can memorize them. Because those are true heroes. I've been in the company of heroes, of men and women that I served with, who every veteran I've been with, I consider a hero to me, because they were either willing to give their life up, or did give their life up for the service of this country, or lost limbs or eyesights, or never came back the same. Yeah, there's no official records on the missing people. That's here's the thing. In the 30s and 40s, they didn't keep good records in the first place. And so people would go missing. Matter of fact, the Germans didn't even have records for the Jewish, didn't keep records of their people. So when the Jewish people were rounded up in city to city, they were thrown on trains. Those trains went to different destinations depending on age or gender, or if you could sew, or if you could build shoes, or if you had a skill or a trade, you went to a work camp. If you didn't have a skill or a trade, or you're useless to the Nazi party, you were sent to the concentration camps where you were executed. You were put into the gas chambers, or you were shot, or whatever. There's I've been to one of the concentration camps. It was the Flossenburg concentration camp in Flossenburg, Germany, which is a southern Bavarian portion of Germany. And there were books, probably 10,000 pages with names just scrolled through of people who were murdered and executed and brutally beaten to death and just whatever. The things that went on during those times were just atrocious. And to sit here and say that we need to put that in the past. I know here a lot of people talk about if we don't learn from history, we're bound to repeat it, right? I knew of a more recent situation where another dictator like Adolf Hitler was gassing and murdering people, mass genocide. His name was Saddam Hussein. He was gassing his own people, which were the Kurds. Kerry can testify to that. It was just a slaughterhouse. And it wasn't right. And I'm sure that he has had family members affected by what that maniac did in Iraq before we went in and stopped him. It was definitely a dark time again in our country, in our civilization as humans, to have to put up with that individual gassing his own people or murdering thousands of people. His numbers weren't anywhere near what Adolf Hitler was doing, but still, it's wrong. Genocide in any situation is wrong. What's going on in the Ukraine is wrong. I don't feel like just because Putin thinks that the Ukraine is no, Saddam Hussein was not better than Hitler. They're evil. They're evil men, and they got what they deserved. I'm not gonna. Yeah, Saddam Hussein was no better than Hitler. He wasn't worse, but he was no better. Just evil men that don't deserve a place on this earth. Just my opinion. With that being said, kind of lost my train of thought there. But that's a good point, Kerry. Saddam Hussein was no better than Hitler. And I can even show that up there. Look, guys, that's what Kerry said. He's not wrong. Hitler was an insane individual, and so was Saddam Hussein. Yeah, they're both terrible men. They got what they deserved. Everything we know about Hitler was he took his own life in Berlin. Whether you believe the conspiracy theories that he got out or not, it is what it is. I know Saddam Hussein got what he deserved because he was hung right before my unit went over there. I remember watching leaked footage because someone snuck a cell phone in there and got footage of him being hung. Yeah, I agree, Kerry. They were evil men. What's up, Eric? Eric Eason joining the show. Team Eason. How's the weather out there in the Philippines? Has it cleared up yet? You said something about like a typhoon warning last week. Eric, it goes. I'm telling you, it goes. I'm hot and wet. Yeah. It was hot here today, and then it like rained for a little bit, and it got like muggy, right? Idaho's supposed to be like a dry heat. Now we had humidity today. I'll just say that. I mean, it's probably not as bad as the Philippines or South Carolina, Carrie. It's probably not as bad as South Carolina. I know South Carolina, it's very humid. Anyways, Eric, we're talking right now about the D-Day invasion. Yesterday was the 80th anniversary of the invasion of Normandy, Operation Overlord, whatever you want to call it. 80th anniversary. Something like 30 or 40 American veterans that were either landed on the beach of Normandy or dropped in with the paratrooping units behind enemy lines were there in participation yesterday for the 80th anniversary. Actors like Tom Hanks were there. President Biden was there. He spoke, even though he made, go figure. He made some remarks that were, good Lord, how this man frustrates me. Anyways, he made some comments that weren't too appeasing, I guess. Anyways, they reenacted the battle of the invasion of Normandy. They had some of the vets. Matter of fact, there was I was watching some news. It was one of the vets. He was 103 years old. Parachuted tandem with another former current paratrooper out of one of those planes. Probably checked his watch in the process. I don't know if he can even tell time on his watch. His watch could sit there and show him the time, but he doesn't know how to read it. The guy has completely lost his mind. He's out there. Anyways, we're talking about the Normandy invasion. They reenacted the boat landings, obviously without the gunfire. I was listening to the story of a veteran talking about it. He was one of the ones that ran those boats, right? Listen to this story, guys. This is extremely sad. So he was the one in charge of dropping the ramp for the soldiers to get off, right? The guy driving the boat says 30 seconds, clear the ramps, coming down, right? So this guy, as soon as that whistle blows, he turns that crank and that ramp goes down. He said he was on the initial invasion, the initial phase, the first wave to hit the beach. And he said, as soon as those ramps dropped, those soldiers kept dropping like you were cutting wheat with the sickle, the whole cutting the wheat. He says they were falling like wheat. He started tearing up and crying. I'm kind of tearing up thinking about it. They started falling like wheat, he said. And he said the only thing that saved his life was that there were so many of those men falling and dying in front of him that they were absorbing the bullets that should have been hitting him. He had to stand there and watch it happen. Just an incredible moment of heroism of what these guys went through. They knew they were going in. They knew that they might not make it out of there alive. I feel, this is my honest opinion, there were a lot of stories. There's a lot of history behind the D-Day invasion. It could have been 1,000 times worse for the U.S. for the Allied forces. The Allied forces had tricked the Germans into thinking that they were going to invade somewhere else. They actually used the dead body they found. They pinned fake intelligence to it. It washed up on shore where the Germans would find it. Boom. The Germans moved a majority of their forces from Normandy down south where they thought the U.S. would invade, the fake invasion force, right? And so had Hitler not moved, and it was Rommel, General Rommel of the German party that would told Hitler, he said, no, we need to keep troops. They're going to invade Normandy. He even said they're going to invade Normandy, and he didn't believe Rommel. This is Rommel, the hero of the North African campaign. Um, he was what they called the desert. Well, the desert rats were the American forces, the British forces that were going across there. Eric says my grandfather was there. He was one of the ones in the landing boats. Did he drive one of the landing boats, or was he the ramp dropper? What did your grandpa do over there, Eric? Anyways, and so Hitler moved a majority of his force, his actual fighting force, from Normandy. But Rommel insisted that they at least fortify the beachhead and stuff like that, which they did. He was infantry. Oh, so he was on one of the landing boats. That's crazy. My great uncle was he landed at Normandy. He was one of the later waves. They had already taken the beach. He got to go to that screening of Saving Private Ryan. He walked out during the beach invasion scene. I don't blame him. But he says they didn't even get it accurate. What and I actually found I was watching that movie yesterday, just the beach landing scene, right? When Tom Hanks is trying to get on the beach and push up the beachhead to take dog one, is what they were calling it, which is typical military jargon. They got a lot about that movie pretty accurate, from what I understand, with the exception of one thing. Tom Hanks and his men were part of the Rangers. The Rangers was kind of a new concept. They were an elite special forces unit, essentially. They were pre-special forces, but the Rangers were a different setup, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, there were two beach fronts, Utah and Omaha. Utah Beach is where most of the Allied, the U.S. forces landed. Omaha Beach was more of the British and the Canadian forces. Either way, it didn't matter because they were Rommel was the Desert Fox. I'm pretty sure he was the Desert Fox that they were hunting down. They were hunting the Desert Fox. Anyways, I'm pretty sure that beachhead comes to like a point, and at the point there's like a cliff. I want to say the Rangers scaled that cliff and took over. There were some cannons up on that cliff that they took over. So in the movie Saving Private Ryan, I was watching this yesterday. I'm like, wait a minute, the Rangers wouldn't have been on the beach. They would have been climbing that mountain. And yes, a lot of the Rangers lost their lives climbing that mountain, that cliffside. But I'm pretty sure the Rangers took it was called Point de Hawk. And I'm pretty sure that the Rangers took that. You know what? I'm going to look that up. Rangers during the D-Day invasion. Let's see. Yeah, the 5th Ranger Battalion under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Max F. Schneider. And the 5th Ranger Battalion assaulted Omaha Beach. Oh, they were in Omaha Beach on D-Day at Camp Forest, Tennessee, September 1943. The battalion arrived British in 1944. I thought for some reason they took the cliffside, but could have been wrong. Yeah. Ooh, if I can show this picture. Save image. D-Day. Now, I wonder if I can share this picture on the screen here. Nope, I don't want to do that. I'm still trying to figure this program out. This is a video. Present slides. I don't have any slides. I'm trying to figure this out. I still only have 2 viewers. Did Carrie leave us? Or did Eric leave us? Wait, hold on. Add background. I wonder if I can add. Oh, I don't want to upgrade. I don't want to upgrade. Images, videos, no thanks. I need to upgrade the software. I really want to upgrade the software. That's kind of where you, my viewers, come in, because if I get this thing going really good, I can upgrade the software. I can get some sponsorship, and I can make this thing. I can make this show a heck of tons better. Anyways, yeah. So the 2 beaches were separated by like a cliffside. Oh, Carrie's still here. So Eric left us, or Eric came back. I don't know. Trying to figure out how to share videos or share pictures. My buddy knows how to do it. He's been doing it on my show all the time. Here's what we're gonna do. How do I share on StreamYard? Build your own webinar. I don't want to do that. Let's see. Share photos, easy. Dropbox official website. Oh, Dropbox. I don't want to do Dropbox. How do I add pictures to StreamYard? Should you StreamYard pictures of yourself? When you launch StreamYard, pictures and picture feature now is perfect time to use your live stream. No, it's perfect. Picture in picture. So let's see. Where's the picture in picture feature? Layout. Oh man. I hope I didn't disappear for you guys. I don't think I did. Yeah, I'm not going to figure this out tonight. Let's see. Yeah, it was a high cliff. They're right there in the middle. And I want to say that the Rangers like climbed that to get up to the top. Like the Rangers took that hill. So called Point to Hawk or something like that. I'm trying to share a picture of it. I've got a picture on here. I should be able to share it. I don't know what that's all about. 100-foot cliff. That's just insane. Yeah, La Pointe de Hawk. Yeah, that's right. The Rangers climbed up that sucker and took the top of that. So my history is not bad. I know my history, especially World War II. I love World War II history. And the only reason I know anything about more modern war history is because I served in Iraq. I did 2 tours of duty over there with the Army. I met Carrie on my first trip over there. We were stationed at Warhorse, right? And then we moved around. We moved around a bit. We went to Orion, to Balad, or Camp Anaconda, as we called it. We moved around a bit. Chewbacca, stop barking at people. Yeah, Bakuba. We were just what was it? Northwest of Bakuba was our base, Camp Warhorse. What was that little town just north of us? It was a bigger little town, started with a K or something like that. And we guarded that bridge. I remember the bridge we guarded. I'll never forget that little kid's name. I swear. So there was a little kid out there that would come out and beg, and sit and chill with us all day, and he would he would beg for like candy and stuff like that. I paid this little kid. I got a story for you guys. All right, we were guarding a bridge across the Tigris River. Our town, it might have been, but there was so just north of Bakuba, I think north. There's that road. I don't know I don't even remember the name of the road, but it leads up to where we curved over and went across the bridge. There were other places to cross the bridge, but Al Qaeda had blown all those up across the river. And I believe that was the Tigris. We were there, right? Anyways, we were guarding a bridge up there. We went and built this fob. It was on my birthday, as a matter of fact, because we got on a mission. My unit, my company, Fox Fierce Company, 52nd Infantry, we went on a mission up there to this bridge. The engineers had built a pontoon bridge across the river to get military supplies and stuff back and forth because, like I said, Al Qaeda had blown all the other bridges up in the region. So we went up there and we built a little base right across, right there on the river right there, and we put up the pontoon, or not the pontoon, the big old HESCO baskets. There are these, and if for any of the others you're watching that don't know what HESCO baskets are, they're these big giant. They've got like what looks like pig fencing, right? And they line that with those big burlap sacks. And then what you do is you open them up. They're like cages. You open them up. They come folded up. You open them up in these big boxes, right? And then you put the box on the ground and you fill it full of dirt. And then when the dirt settles in there, water hits it, rain, whatever like that, it packs it down and it makes a cement wall essentially later on. Anyways, we were out there all day. We built this base. Us and the engineers, we put the serpentine jersey barriers down, everything, right? They brought us a guard tower out there. At first, we were out there on patrol with the Georgian Army. This isn't the time when I say Georgian Army, I don't mean the state of Georgia. I mean country of Georgia, which I don't think exists anymore because it was part of the old Soviet Union that Vladimir Putin took back. 2000. That was 2007. He invaded Georgia, and he went in there and he took over Georgia. Anyways, it was part of his takeover to get the old USSR back and whatever. Anyways, they left and we got the Ugandan army up there. The Ugandans were amazing. Those people were fantastic. They were always singing. They were just good guys to chat with and talk to. They were good guys. Anyways, I digress. We built this little base right there next to the river, and we spent like a week out there at a time. Each platoon would spend a week out there at a time. Now, for those of you who don't know, I was in an anti-tank company. My entire company was probably 60 guys. A normal infantry company or a normal infantry platoon is probably that size. Just a platoon of infantry soldiers in a normal infantry setting. A company of infantry is 180, pushing 200 probably. That is a full infantry company in the U.S. military, in the U.S. Army anyways. I don't know how the Marines work. That's from what I understand, an infantry company in the Marines is about 180 to 200. Anyways, um, we were guarding that bridge, and this little kid, I'll never forget his name. His name is Sajat. He lived in that town, and I can't ever think of the name of it. It was just right down the road from where the bridge was. For some reason, I think we called it K Town for some reason. I don't know. Uh, anyways, he would uh, he would come out there and hang out with us all day while we were sitting there watching the Ugandan army, and what Iraqi army we had with us would be right down the road, checking cars coming through the Serpentine, making sure they didn't have bombs attached to them and all this other stuff, right? And so Sajat would come down and hang out with us. There were date groves all around us. The piece of land we built that little base on was owned by the farmer that was just right. His house was right down the road. He gave us that land. He says, "Please come take it. I'd rather the Americans be here than Al Qaeda or the Jaish al Mahdi." And Kerry knows what those are. The Jaish al Mahdi is another terrorist group over there that was formed by was it El Sadr was his name? That leader guy. I think he fled to Iran and when the invasion took place. Was he a member of was he a member of the Ba'ath Party? Saddam's Ba'ath Party. Anyways, so yeah, this little kid Sajat would always come down and hang out with us. And one time he tried taking my knife. I had a knife attached to my chest, my vest. He tried taking my knife out of my vest. I said, "No, Sajat, you don't do this." Well, for those of you who don't know, every town I went to in Iraq, there was trash littered on the sidewalks, just littered down the streets, right? I gave Sajat $5. Now, when I was in Iraq, $5 to the Iraqi people was a lot of money. Well, I mean, to the kid, especially to a kid. A matter of fact, to put that in retrospect, $5 in one of the villages where they were cooking falafel, I could get a grocery store size bag of falafel for $5, $5 American. And falafel is some damn good food, I'll tell you right now. For any of you who have not had falafel, let me know, because if you live in my area, I know how to make it, and I can show you. Or you can come over and we can have falafel one night. By all means. Kerry, that's an invitation. If you're ever out here in Idaho where I'm at, let me know. We're having falafel. Unless you don't want falafel, we'll have something else. But falafel is very delicious stuff, guys. Yeah, he was Jaish al Mahdi's leader. Is he really one of the leaders of the government? What, like, does he have a high up? I don't even know who the president or prime minister, who the leader of Iraq is. I haven't been in touch with Iraq in a long time, to be honest with you. Anyways, Sajat would come down and just chill with us, right? So one day I offered Sajat, I brought a bunch of garbage bags, and I told him, I said, "Sajat, do you want this $5?" He goes, "Yeah, of course." He's a high religious guy and a big politician. Okay. I mean, I think I look. I don't know what your opinion on him is. I just know that he was not a good man. He led the Jaish al Mahdi. To us, they were a terrorist organization because we as Americans were fighting either Al Qaeda or Jaish al Mahdi. But most of the time, Jaish al Mahdi was on our side. They would kind of help us out. He is trash. No, I agree. Like I never liked him. Al Sadr. He must have been from Sadr City with the name Al Sadr. Do you know his full name by chance? Anyways, so I paid Sajat. I offered Sajat $5. I said, here, you can have this when you're done, but okay, so Mukada is his given name, right? And Al Sadr would be the town he's from, if I'm not mistaken, right? Because wasn't he from Al Sadr? Yeah, that's what I thought. We never went to Sadr City. Sadr City's bad area. There was a lot of special forces and Navy SEALs. Matter of fact, that's where I believe it was Sadr City where American Sniper, I can't, his name has just left my freaking brain. Chris Kyle. I believe that's where Chris Kyle killed the sniper they called Mustafa. That elite sniper that he was from Jordan or something like that. He was he participated in the Olympics for the country of Jordan. Anyways, there was they called him Mustafa. He's the one responsible for killing my friend Anthony Sosto, Private First Class Anthony Jonathan Sosto. He died May 7th, 2007 in northern Baghdad. I believe it was Mustafa that killed him. There was other names for him though too. What other names did they call that sniper in Iraq? He had a bunch of names. I know Mustafa was the name that we called him. And I'm pretty sure he was Jordanian. Joba. Yeah, that was another name. Joba. I'm glad they finally killed that son of a bitch. Anyways, Sajat. So anyway, go back to the story with Sajat, my little buddy Sajat. He's probably he was probably 7 or 8 when I met him, and that was almost 20 years ago. That kid's probably pushing 30 years old now. No, not that old. Anyways, so I paid Sajat. I said, Sajat, I'll give you this $5 if you can fill all these trash bags with all this trash, right? So he did it. Sajat filled every trash bag down that road. And I mean, he cleaned all that trash up. He came back and I honored my side of the deal. I gave him the $5 because good job. Here's your $5, right? Well, Sajat ran down to that little town that was just down at the end of the road there. The road curved, so we could see it. It was probably about 300 meters, and it curved going towards. That's the way we went back towards our base. There was a little town right down there at the curve where we curved right before we. So it was like 300 meters from where it curved down to where we were out on the river there. Anyways, Sajat left. He went back down to his village. We didn't see him for a couple hours. Well, he came back a couple hours later with a giant bag full of candy. And I'm telling you guys, the currency rate over there was $5 was a lot of money. I told you I could buy an entire bag of falafel for $5. $5 American, I mean, would feed my entire platoon with falafel. I'm just telling you, like, we would make falafel runs when we lived in the green zone. We would go down to one of the little vendors right there in the green zone and get $5 worth of falafel for our entire platoon. We would all eat it. The falafel. So I'm telling you, Carrie, they need to know about falafel. That is some good stuff. Falafel. My other favorite recipe they had over there was biryani. That stuff was amazing. Of course, the kebabs. You can't beat the kebabs. The food in Iraq, people, is just amazing. It's good food. And generally, most of the people in Iraq are good people. Okay, so people get this twisted a lot that, Iraq's just full of terrorists. No, it's not. Like, there are good people in Iraq. There are good people in the United States. There's radical extremists here in the United States. No country's different. The people of Iraq, the actual people of Iraq, the ones that were just trying to provide for their family and do right by their family, they were great people. Anyways, the little kid Sajat goes down and buys this big giant bag of candy. He comes back a couple hours later, and he offers me a piece. And they had these wafer bars. They were wafer covered in chocolate drizzled with white chocolate. Carrie, you would know what they were. They came in like little purple wrappers. They were fantastic. I think they were made in Turkey. Don't quote me on that, but they were super good. Anyways, he gave me one. He gave me my favorite candy bar, which was like I said, those little chocolate. There were the wafers drizzled in chocolate. They were dipped in chocolate, and they had white chocolate drizzled down the top. It was so good. Anyways, I ate mine. I put my wrapper in my pocket, my little pouch pocket on my hip. I went about my business. This kid Sajat ate one of his pieces of candy, threw his wrapper right back on the ground. And I said, Sajat, you just spent hours cleaning all this up. Why would you just throw your wrapper on the ground again? He looked at me and said, because you'll just pay me again later. He was a little entrepreneur right there, a little moneymaker, a little swindler. But I'll never forget him. He was an amazing little kid. I'll tell you right now. Just come down and talk with us all day. He actually spoke pretty decent English. Yeah, he spoke pretty good English. And most of them did. Some of them spoke broken English. And there's a difference. Anywhere you go in that country, there's a difference. There's and it's weird because oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that was a true story. I know that he took our driver's he stole our driver's knife off his vest, and our driver chased him through that freaking date grove that was right next to us. I chased him for a good 10 or 15 minutes. Good old Sajat, man. I mean, who knows what happened to that kid? If he's still alive, who knows? Maybe one day I'll figure it out, but maybe one day that country will be a place where people could go visit. That country, I'll tell you right now, Iraq itself is beautiful. Like the countryside, beautiful. The people are amazing people. It's the radical extremists over there that really ruined that country for them. Baghdad itself, beautiful. It's a beautiful city. The cross sabers, just everything. I have not had the privilege of being up north in Kurdistan, where Carrie is from, but I've heard amazing things. I've heard nothing but good things about Kurdistan. And anyways, yeah, that's my story. Iraq was a good experience. I did meet at the grocery store here in Idaho Falls. I was wearing my veteran hat, which I haven't seen that hat in a couple days. I was wearing my veteran hat. It says Iraq War Veteran on it. And I was at the grocery store the other day, and some lady was putting her cart away, and I was putting my cart away, and I offered, hey, let me grab your cart for you. I'll put it away for you. And she saw my hat, and she goes, were you in Iraq? I said, yeah. She goes, that's where I'm from. I'm from Iraq. I was like, no kidding. I said, what part? She goes, I'm from Baghdad. And she told me the area of Baghdad she's from, because Baghdad's got sections, guys. It's not just, I mean, there's Baghdad, and then there's like other little like suburbs of Baghdad that are called different things. El Sadr is one of them, like Sadr City. That's another like section of Baghdad. The river separates. I think that's what is it? That's the Tigris River? Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, Carrie, but the Tigris River runs down that side of the east side of the city. The Euphrates runs down the left side of the city, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, pretty sure I'm right, but correct me if I'm wrong, Carrie. Yeah, she said she was from a suburb of Baghdad. I don't remember what suburb she said. It was definitely interesting. Let's see. Oh, here's another story we could talk about tonight, guys. Carrie, Here, I don't know what your political views are here in the United States. And have you got your American citizenship? Please tell me. Tell me what's going on with you. And actually, Carrie, do you have my Facebook? If you do, send me a Facebook message. If you want to come join me on the show, I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you on the show and talk to you and chat with you face to face. That'd be great. Another story from the news this week, kind of stemming from the indictment of Trump back in last week. So it was before, like Thursday of last week. You do have me on Facebook. Send me a private message on Facebook with your email. I'll invite you to the show if you want to come join me on the show. You can come join me live right here on the show. You would be right here next to me on the screen. Anyways, yeah. Talk about the story about what's his name? The actor. I don't like him anymore because I used to have mad respect for this actor because he was like his movies were amazing. Robert De Niro. There you go. Robert De Niro is very outspoken against the Trump administration. He's pro Biden, which generally I wouldn't care about so much, right? Because look, as Americans, we're entitled to our opinion, right? We're entitled to be what we are and who we are. But I literally don't like Robert De Niro anymore because of things he said about President Trump. Now, he was on The View. He compared President Trump, former President Trump, to Mussolini and Hitler. Now, if you don't know who Mussolini was, he was the leader of Italy. He was very much so evil. He was kind of like Hitler before Hitler. I mean, they were at kind of the same time frame. They ousted Mussolini from power in like 1938 or something like that. So it was very close to the Hitler regime. And anyways, Mussolini was a very bad man. He compared Trump to Mussolini and Hitler. And a thought came to my mind when he said it, and I was like, it's funny that he compares Trump to Mussolini and Hitler. What was Hitler doing pre-World War II? He was having the Gestapo and it wasn't the SS, but there was one before the SA, which was like his cronies, they were Gestapo, essentially. They're called. The Gestapo were like literally he took over the police, and he basically ousted anybody that opposed his views, right? Well, he sent them out to gather all the guns from all the civilians. Said, you can't have these. And then once they had all the guns in their possession, he said, guess what? We're in control now. They would go house to house, kick the doors in, grab the fathers from their beds, and say, you're going to serve in the Nazi regime. You're going to be a Nazi soldier. And if you don't like it, we'll murder your family in front of you. And if you resist, we'll murder your family in front of you. Guys, does that not sound like the Democratic Party right now? Does that not sound like... Because what's the only party trying to push for gun control in this country? The Democrats. They're the ones pushing for the banning of guns. While we're on the subject, you want to ban guns, they only want to ban the AR-15s, which are used in less than 1% of gun violence in the United States. You want to know the most used gun in gun violence in the United States? Pistols. But you're not going to ban those. they're not as scary as the big AR-15s or as these. And I can't make this up, guys. These politicians that'll say this gun can shoot 1,000 rounds a minute and it holds 800 rounds in a clip. I can't make this stuff up, guys. And these are the people that get voted into office by other people who think that this person is sane mind. Okay. I've educated my viewers, some of them, not in a mean way, on what AR really stands for. I've had someone come on here and say, I don't really know what AR stands for other than assault rifle. It does not stand for assault rifle. It stands for Armalite rifle. AR-15s are no more than semi-automatic guns, which means I have to pull the trigger to have a bullet come out, not pull the trigger and bullets keep coming out. If I pull the trigger and hold it back, one bullet comes out. That's it. That's an AR-15. That's how an AR-15 works. Same way a pistol works. If I pull the trigger on my pistol, one round comes out. Like pull and hold, I mean. If I release and pull again on my magazine-fed semi-automatic pistol, more rounds come out every time I pull the trigger. So, I like I said, I tried to explain it to people. You know, some people just don't get why we vote for people that have the mentality that AR stands for assault rifle. But yet, they cannot define the word assault rifle. They can't define what an assault rifle really is. I know what an assault rifle is. Something that I use on an assault. If I assault somebody with a weapon, it could be this pen, it could be a knife. It turns into an assault weapon. All right. Now, there have been states that have banned assault rifles, what they call assault rifles, aka the state of Washington, state right next door to me. And a lot of people are like, well, you better start buying your ARs because the federal government's going to ban them. No, they're not. In the Constitution, the Second Amendment of the Constitution talks about how it just says the right to bear arms. That doesn't specify what kind of arms I can own. All it says is the right to bear arms. That's plain and simple what it says. Nothing else. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Ugh. Anyways. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Carrie, if you're still watching, hit me up on Facebook. Like, send me a Facebook message with your email address, and I'll add you to my show. I'll send you a link where you can join. Come chat with me, like live. You can be on the show with me. That's if you want to be. If you don't want to be, I get it. Totally get it. I thought I might have Big Hoss on here tonight, my co-host. He's generally on with me on Friday nights. He's been dealing with some stuff, which I get, some family stuff. So I might cut the show a little bit shorter tonight just because I haven't had a lot of viewers. I've sent a bunch of messages to a bunch of people online. So we will see. Whoops. Come on, people. Come watch the show. Mm. Boo. I'll give it another 10 minutes, and if people want to join, they can join. I have no viewers now. Everyone has left. I'll give it a few minutes. Sad how many people actually read my invites for the show, and like nobody has joined me tonight. Like hardly anybody has joined me tonight. Picking my nose here and stuff. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna give this till an hour and 30 minutes being on. And I'm gonna cut it short because I really don't want to stay on if I don't have viewers. And I've got lots to talk about. There's lots we can talk about. But I'll give my viewers a few more minutes. And anyways, I'm sure Carrie went to bed because it's late there in South Carolina. Oh. Let's see. All right, guys. Well, my viewership has dropped down to 0. I think I'm going to call it quits. I haven't had a viewer in a few minutes. So, guys, it's been a great show tonight, even though it's been short. And my other co-host that I usually have on the show with me, Josh, is out on a date tonight. Good luck on your date, by the way, Josh. And then, of course, you've got a big hoss is dealing with some stuff right now, trying to take care of some business at home. So I'm cool with them not being here tonight. That's great. We do miss them on the show. They're a great addition to the show. Anyways, guys, it's been real fun. You guys have a great night. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back here next Friday night for another edition. Make sure you come and join us every Friday night, 9 to 11 Mountain Standard Time. All right, guys, have a good evening.